Hey everyone, we're here with Jordan and Nick from Weed Demon. If you don't know them, you should check them out. They're out of Columbus, Ohio, been together 11 years, 1-1. And they just had a new album come out, The Doom Scrolls, on January 30th. Also, they're fucking playing Legalize Lex.
Hell yeah.
Dude,
I
guys,
mean,
thanks for joining me.
thanks, Tom. Appreciate you having us, man.
Hell yeah. Um, how'd you guys get hooked up with Legalize Lex?
Uh, well, as everyone I think is probably aware that is familiar with the festival, if you know Legalized Lex, you probably know Braun, and the good old boys in crop. I think it was Braun probably that we played with crop, his band, and she in Pittsburgh a couple years ago, and as soon as we unloaded the gear, right, we had just parked and we were starting to unload the stuff from the back of the van, and Braun's already like out on the street, like yelling at us, asking if we want to like smoke a joint and shit. And like we just start throwing frisbees. Like we had a thing of frisbees with the stickers on it. We started like throwing back and forth in the middle of the street in Pittsburgh, and I was immediately knew I was like, this dude, this band, we're kindred spirits, and kind of fostered a relationship between Ohio and Kentucky, and they're good time fellas, and we like to party, and so yeah, it just kind of blossomed over the last couple of years of dudes, just dudes who like to play low, slow, heavy riffs and smoke weed, and and then before you know it, Braun is he's a man of action, and he's putting together Legalized Lex, and this is year two, so we're excited to be there.
For sure. I think we're excited to have you there. That will be fun. Braun is one of those dudes. He's a character with all the love in his heart, especially when
Yeah.
it comes to like music and, like music overall, but specifically like the Doom world. He loves to connect. He loves to make things happen.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure. He definitely has that personality of being willing to put himself out there and make friends, and that it helps, man. You need that. You need the guys that are willing to go to bat and put stuff together like this.
Fuck yeah. Because you don't know how it's gonna go. They just canceled Desert Fest New York.
Oh, yeah. Why is
Yeah,
that?
partially because of like uh visas and that kind of thing. Didn't feel like it was going to be feasible to do it without some of the acts that they really wanted to have. So they were like, we're out.
Great. Well, that's a bummer.
Unfortunate.
The whole
Yeah.
Yeah.
fest is canceled. That sucks.
Nah, just this year, I think. Their plan is to be back next year. They're just trying to, strategize with, the best way to get bands into the States and to be able to play legally, I think.
Legalize. Legalize Desert
Legalize.
Fest.
Yeah,
Legalized
oh,
Desert
there we
Fest. I
go.
love it.
That's funny shit. So, did with you guys getting signed on, did he tell you anything about year one?
Uh, no, I mean a lot of the bands that played the first Legalized we're familiar with, we've played with. I mean, it's the tri-state doom sludge community. A lot of us have already played together, right?
Yeah.
She and Swamp Hawk and Blind Scryer and Crop and Stormtoker and Pond Digger and all these bands we've either been shows together or other festivals, or we're in the same circle. So, there's not a lot of bands that we haven't already seen or collaborated with. Um, so yeah, when I saw year one, of course I was jealous we didn't get asked to play, but I knew that I knew he'd get us next this, second year.
For sure. So year one went over fantastic.
Yeah.
Um, it was, I'll tell you the wedding story maybe in a little bit, but I don't remember how many bands were actually there, but it was like clockwork. No one missed,
Yeah,
just right on schedule, which, you've played enough shows to know, like,
that's not normal.
ev even on three or four bands, you're like, how do we get off 15 minutes? What the hell's going on,
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean it helps them when you do this fest and you share cabs, and I would imagine it's probably most of everything will be backlined. And
Oh yeah. Yeah, they did. I think between all the bands, they had the best equipment up there. And there was one hiccup and someone's head like fucked up and it wouldn't work like as they took the stage. So, oh shit. Took 5 minutes to fix it and then back to back to playing. So that was cool.
well, knock on wood, that doesn't happen this year to us.
Nah,
Dude, yeah,
you
I
guys
hate
would
when
be
that happens.
Someone else, not us.
no, no one, no
No,
one.
oh yeah,
Everyone's gonna
no,
be
no one.
fine.
Right.
No one. Stay on schedule. Let's do this.
Yeah, we've
You
never we're stoked to play Al's. We never played we played Lexington a handful of times, but never I guess Al's bar. It's usually what is it, the Green Lantern.
Green Lantern. Yeah.
I think that's we I think every time we've played Lexington it's there.
That I think the Green Lantern is where I've been to most of my Lexington shows.
What's isn't there a place that does Metal Mondays? Maybe
Louisville.
that's in Louisville. Okay. Yep.
It
My,
was
my
so
my apologies, everyone. Sorry.
nah, it's they don't give a shit. It was so Metal Monday was at Highlands Tap Room, and I think this week it was announced they're moving everything to Mag Bar.
Oh, right on. That makes sense.
So yeah, I, I I feel like it's more room. Doesn't feel like you're playing in someone's house. Um,
Well, Mag seems like the home for metal and underground music in Louisville.
yeah, Mag's definitely the place to go. So you guys play Friday night, and quick list of everyone that's there. Pond Digger, she, of course, you guys, Weed Demon, Swamp Hawk, Hashtronaut, and
Boom.
Temple of the Fuzz Witch.
Let's go.
Doors at 7. Um, I assume you guys are familiar with Hashtronaut, Temple of the Fuzz Witch, because we know, Swamp Hawk, she, and Pond Digger.
Yep. We played with Temple of the Fuzz Witch a handful of times. I actually helped book them in Columbus. They've got us up in Detroit before. So we're always excited to see those dudes. They're good buddies, Noah and everybody. So looking forward to that. Hashtronaut, we have not had the pleasure of playing with. So it's always nice when we get to add a new band to the Rolodex.
Astronaut are performers.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, I've only seen them once. Actually saw them at Green Lantern when they were doing, I think, Road to Ripple last year with Temple of the Fuzzwitch and a couple of shows with Crop, and they were fucking great, dude.
Sweet.
Yeah. Super looking forward to that. Are you guys planning on staying for Saturday also?
That's I think yeah, well, I would love to. I want to say yes. I think it kind of depends on we also have a show on 421 or 420 on the actual on Sunday
Yeah.
back home. So I think it kind of just depends logistically. We're probably going to crash. We'll stay the night. If we might see part of the festival, depends on when things get rolling. Um, I'm going to say yes, but I'm only one out of four. Nick's going to say
Hey, I ride in the van and just go where you guys take me more often than not. I'd love to come through and party. I'm all for it.
that is true.
Well, a
Nick's
party it will be.
Yeah, Nick's always along for the ride. I'm
Hell yeah.
stuck. Well, he drove the van part of the way home last time.
Yeah,
Almost
I'm
had a
lucky I
panic
didn't get
attack.
us completely rolled over with that thing. Took some finesse. I wasn't used to it.
Yeah.
I didn't have
Like,
I'm used to driving a Honda Fit, so it's like five guys and 2 tons of gear.
in a
It's
night
stressful,
in
especially
a
after you just played a killer show. We had a couple Coke Zeros.
in a 1995 Dodge Ram 2500 van. It's a little with a racket, what is it, racket pinion steering?
That's a mighty, mighty boat driving down the road.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, with the rack and peanut steering.
not your daily driver.
Well, hopefully it's not your daily driver. That thing probably eats so much gas
It is hungry for sure.
for sure. So let's let's jump off of Legalized Lex for a minute. Let's go at the Doom Scroll.
Hell yeah.
What was the writing process like for the Doom Scroll?
Well,
We went
it,
back many months, a couple years
oh
actually
yeah.
at this point.
Yeah.
Um, you know, Andy's got his book of rips, his doom scrolls that he's always pulling from, bringing us material. And some of the recordings on the record actually reflect us back in the process, going through it, hashing the songs out, in the room and just letting the riffs figure out where they wanted to go. It's organic like that. And then it's cool to go through the process over. It's been a couple years, so we even had a chance on some of it to go back and say, hey, let's try this again, or let's try it like this, and patch
Yeah.
in a couple different parts there. I like doing that better than a lot of bands in the years. You go in and it's like, we got 8 hours, we're gonna cut this record today, we've been practicing, it's in, it's done, it's on. We kind of let this one, we massaged it for a while, and even got all the way through the end where it's like, I saw the album cover and said, oh man, I want to do a synth track for that. Andy had like a blues number he was cooking up that I think is one of the greatest tracks I've ever heard on any doom metal album. And I'm not just trying to take credit for it because it's our record. We are, because it is our record. But like, Andy put it up and I was like, man, that's incredible. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Dead
It,
Planet Blues, dude. That fucking thing
Yeah.
absolutely rips. What a way to end the album.
well, so it's really when you think about it, like we're kind of a different band when we started that album because we started it technically, I guess it started pre-COVID. I mean, we had already started laying the foundation for Tower of Smoke when we had just wrapped Crater Maker. And then COVID happened. So it took, honestly, I mean, between when we started writing and when we finished, even though it's only 5 songs, which sounds like not a lot, but it's a full album's worth of material just condensed down into 5 songs. But we're a totally different band when we started than when we finished. Same guys, just a lot of life happened in that time span, right? Like, we had a successful release with Crater Maker. We went on tour. Well, no, I'm sorry. We had a tour planned out to California and back, and then it got, shit the bed. And
R.I.P. should have been tour.
yeah, Andy, our, primary songwriter on guitar, had a child. So the evolution of the band changed drastically, right? So I think maybe when you listen to it and you hear Acid Dungeon and you hear Dead Planet Blues, right? Those I don't know that would have happened if we had put that album out like 3, 4 years ago. I think we were a more mature band, and the idea to experiment with those different things of having a dungeon synth song and a traditional blues guitar song would not be, maybe we wouldn't have been in the right place as a band to be able to do that. But I think it gave us space to be able to say, hey, let's fuck it, let's just do something weird. I remember like we were like trying to fill we actually were like trying to fill some space. We're like, we need an intro song, and Nick's like, yeah, I got let me do this thing. And he
I'm on it.
yeah, whipped that shit up, all on his lonesome, and it truly was one of the coolest tracks I think we've ever had as an intro, and it just kind of grabs you and sets the tone for the whole album, even though it's you know and it's not normal in the stoner doom community to have a dungeon synth song. I think
Well, that's what I was gonna say is to start it with Acid Dungeon and end with Dead Planet Blues is super cool because you think like in the Doom realm of an album and it's all, guitar heavy, like just the toned out fucking guitars and
Sure.
basses, and that's what you're looking for. You don't get a lot outside of that, which, I think is, the Doom Scroll is really fucking cool for that.
If we had had more time, I'm sure we would have done even weirder, more bizarre shit. Like I think we really just have leaned into that over the years of, from the Stone to Death EP. Like it was all pretty cut and paste, like Doom stoner riffs, like the same formula. And then by this point, man, like it's 10 years, right? Well, 11 you said, but it's been 10 years since our first EP came out. And so we just were like, man, let's like the weirder the better. Let your freak flag fly.
Well, you can't be, I think, with music, you can't be afraid to experiment, right? When you're like, okay, this is our formula, this is how it's got to sound, it you become AC/DC or any number of bands that release the same song or same album over and over and over. And like, how many times can you fucking do it? I mean, apparently you could do it a lot. And
Yeah,
AC/DC is still rolling high on that shit.
apparently do it for half a century.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't see AC/DC going like singer songwriter anytime soon, or or being like, oh, we should totally do a gothic record. But like, I think we're like a different kind of generation of kids where like we come up with all sorts of stuff. We're eclectic. We're stoners just kind of checking everything out. So like, hell yeah, we played slow and low doom stuff, but then put a synth thing on, see what's up with that record. Put a blues thing on, see what's up with that record. Be a little eclectic, weird with it.
We're
Um,
not, if I know that uh, we all listen to an insane array of different music, like between all of us. I know that been around when you spend this much time around, other other musicians, you learn like kind of what their tastes are. And like we do not sure we all listen to
well, well,
Sabbath
it,
and Sleep and all that bullshit, but man, dude, the amount of other stuff that we listen to in the van is wild. Like there's a
oh
reason we
well,
picked
like
the
you were
Frank
saying
Zappa
too, like
cover.
someone was complaining. They're like, it's so weird. These guys, when did these guys turn into a death metal band? And we're like, we wrote that riff like 8 years ago. That's nothing new. I don't know. That's us doing our thing. But it's
Yeah.
we're deathy doom. Like I was looking at some like internet radio stations and realized, oh, there's gothic doom, there's deathy doom. There could probably be industrial doom. I don't know if I've ever heard that, but I'm gonna have to go find it now.
I'm sure it's
All
I'm
on.
sure
different
someone out there's doing
shades,
the industrial doom thing. Like, check us out.
putting mics in blenders, wherever it goes, getting crazy
Yeah.
with it. Vacuum cleaners.
Big on the vacuum cleaners.
Hell yeah, vacuum cleaners. Shout out to vacuum cleaners.
Yeah.
Shout out vacuum cleaners.
Yeah.
What's up, Hoover?
Hoover Core.
Hoover core. Oh
Hoover Doom.
fuck.
Yeah, we're Hoover Doom.
For Hoover Doom. Oh, you
Yeah.
gotta rip that wire
Because
out.
of
It'll
Detroit.
get that motherfucker sounding real low. It'll start
Don't
rattling, give you the drum beat. We're good.
don't eat your cord.
It gets stuck on that corner of the carpet and it gets real it gets real
Remember in
angry, yo.
that remember in that scene from the what was it? The what was that fucking the toaster
The brave little toaster.
Brave
You
Little
talking the
Toaster? And
brave little
remember
toaster?
when the vacuum cleaner started choking on his cord and there
Oh my god, yeah.
like
That's exactly
that shit
exactly
petrified me as a kid. That gave me a fucking trauma complex.
that movie.
That's so what are some of the like favorites to play in the van when you guys are traveling?
Ooh.
Uh, it kind of it varies. We definitely listen to a lot of Motorhead, right? We have a Motorhead cover, right, on our on our Spotify. Probably a good chunk of the Sword. I like to play a lot of ZZ Top. I think we've had a lot of Frank Zappa uh at times.
We get into it about Frank Zappa because we're a little divided on Frank Zappa, I think. I know I'm gonna
Yeah.
Brian and I in our side project, I'm all the time having to sell him on it. He's like, yo, that song's cool. I don't get it, man. And I was like, you listen to prog music, you get them. And he's like, no, I listen to prog music, but I don't get Frank Zappa. I was like, all right, well, let's smoke like 5 more joints and I'll probably be able to figure out how to explain it to you.
Yeah. I get you know, we just, and like Brian loves the Melvins. So we like a lot of the weirder, the fringe elements of like Doom, and Stoner, or like, whatever the fuck you want to call it, the adjacent community of genres that we listen to. But, I think when you've done this for so long and you've played every riff, like you want the weirder stuff, right? That's what we're drawn to, I think. I like a lot of like Delta blues. I like a lot of jazz. I would love to like or obviously you might interview She at some point.
I
Uh,
already have.
oh, awesome. Well, they have, on their new album, they have it's trumpet or saxophone. I can't remember which one. They have a horn. They have a little horn interlude in one of their songs on their new album, and I absolutely love that so much. I would love to have.
Outrageous.
I would love to have uh, a horn section in our next album.
Okay, you guys heard it here. It might or might not come with the next Weed Demon
I
album.
hope so. I
If
Shout out to horn players. We're
Shout
looking
out
there
to
for
you
you.
go.
Scott. What's up? We're ska demon now going forward. We
Dude,
play we
Do
play
not
ska
threaten me with a good time, Jordan.
ska sludge.
do
You're
it's
chicken
Doom
tendies
Ska
core
Core.
now.
Doom ska for sure.
Dude, yeah.
The Doom
Yeah.
Skies.
We're
So
like most.
Stormtoker, have you guys seen Stormtoker since
Oh
they
yeah.
added the horn?
I think, well, when we
You
played with
mean
them at
you mean Storm Skanker?
yeah.
Or Storm Skanker now. They got the horn in it. Yeah.
What was the hell was the
Holler at
fest
Doom.
what was the fest we played down in
Holler of Doom.
Holler
Yeah.
Doom. Yeah, we played with them at Holler Doom this past year. So yeah, we
Shout out to Holler of Doom real quick.
played at
That was an awesome time.
Doomed and Stoned. Yeah, we know Stormtoker. But
Yeah.
yes, to your point, yes, we saw him with the horn one time.
Blew my
I
mind.
think I think twice with the horn for me, and that's what it reminds me of. Like they're going and the horn comes in and I'm like, ooh, I want to skank. What the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
Like,
Get that
and they
horn energy
jam.
in
They
it, you know?
absolutely jam.
Not We need more horn. More horn
Well,
in stoner metal.
that's going to be the advertisement. Someone gets to dress up like Will Ferrell, uh, going, need more horn.
More cowbell.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, dude.
Need more bong riffs, man.
Or,
Well, I mean, I think I think that's kind of the takeaway, right? Is that it's just you got to think of something, man. Like you can't always just rely on your fucking fuzz pedal in this genre every time, and it's like can't be your fallback. Like I think it's imperative that bands continue to do the weird thing, right? Like if you got a guy in the band that has a weird uh that was in the high school band, marching band, and he might know how to play a fucking horn, an oboe, or like let him do it, man. Like let your actual musicians
I
do the
want to
weird
get
thing.
I want to get baked and listen to some creepy oboes. Someone make that
Right.
happen.
Yeah,
Trip me
dude,
out.
it's probably out there.
I'm sure it's out there.
Like I
So
know I've seen oboe players. I just don't know I've seen any that are into like dank riffs.
there
Blackened blackened oboe.
there used to be a band, I think they were called Chug Chug or Jug Jug, and they would
Yep.
there were no
Oh, yeah,
fucking
Jud Jud.
instruments.
Yeah.
Everything they did was just mouth
Yeah.
sounds.
Jun Jun Jun. Yeah, Jun Jun. I think that's what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
once
God, that
once you
was
pump that through like 10,000 watts and an axe effects, man, like it's totally legit. You can't even tell the difference, man. It'll be totally sick, you know?
well, the best
But
thing was there were no effects. It was just them fucking like
Jun 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 Jun. Oh yeah.
it was
hell
good
yeah.
shit.
Honestly, brilliant. Forward thinking. That's what we need, really, is more of that outside of the box thinking for
We need them at the horseshoe is what we need,
that's
you
right.
know. We just need to Go
Well, I
straight to
think
the point.
that's, that's the beautiful thing about like underground music is people are they're like, yeah, I'm not going to make a living, so I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do, right? And they really
100%.
push boundaries on everything.
Yeah.
Like, so people go, what the fuck was that? Like
Yeah.
I
I don't
wasn't
know if Jordan
expecting.
feels me on that the same way because Jordan is very much like we also sell T-shirts, so we can keep this thing going. Whereas I'm like, just get weird, keep it weird. Let's go nuts. Let's be. So I think
There's
Jordan.
a fine line between being weird and experimental and also still being palatable and marketable, I think is what Nick's trying to say.
He's
I
he's
think
he's he's the little voice to reel it in, I guess. But like we
Not too
got the yin
much.
and yang like that.
I'm a firm believer that it doesn't matter what you put out there, someone is interested in it,
Sure.
Speaks to
obviously.
someone's voice, right?
Yeah, someone's like, fuck, that's cool. I got to buy everything from that band. Might only be one person or 10 people, but you've got an audience.
Well, 100 there's 100 bands every day that probably get started, maybe more, I don't know. And they're all gonna most of them are gonna play the same shit, right? It's all just a variation of the same handful of chords. And if you're not willing to do, you're gonna remember the weird band, right? Like you're gonna remember the band that did the thing that you couldn't quite put your finger on, that tried the dungeon synth song or the banjo in their album. Like you're gonna just kind of you gotta do something to distinguish yourself, right? At this point,
Do you?
I think so. I
I
believe
think you're right.
I
I think
wholeheartedly.
everyone
There's
should absolutely do something that's going to set them apart, right? And sometimes that is pushing boundaries, and sometimes that's doing that thing at a super, super high level, like,
Yeah, well, sometimes it's about standing apart. Sometimes it's just about doing your walk, just doing your thing, whatever that is. And whether that's about like, yo, I do this at some super crazy professional level, or hey man, this shit's wild, you got to see it, you know, just something you couldn't have ever thought or seen before. But if everyone had their own authentic thing, then you get to see something special every day. Whereas sometimes you might, like you said, there's like 100 new bands every week, and if you see 9 out of 10 of those bands they're all going down the same mine shaft, looking for the same fortune, and it's like, well, you know, we got 9 new records. We'll get another 9 new records next week.
yeah,
So if all those bands start to find their own voice, I think that's where they start pulling gold out of that mine.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'd be
I mean,
more.
look at Gigi Allen. We're still talking about him, and he's been dead for 30 fucking years.
I know,
Damn, for
and he
better or
wasn't even a
worse.
good musician.
No, he was
Yeah.
terrible,
Fucking
Literally
but he
just
did.
slinging shit. Look out.
That's it. Slinging shit and fighting the crowd. Like that was a
yeah.
show you walked away from going, I will never forget that fucking dumpster fire.
I legitimately hate that fuck at this point in my life, but I cannot deny drink, fight, and fuck. The power of drink, fight, and fuck. It's just, God damn it. When you're right, you're right.
Well, that's it. And Murder Junkies are getting ready to go on tour again.
Were they sponsored by AARP?
Maybe. I mean, fuck.
Jägermeister and Metamucil.
And
Yeah,
get their
understood.
get their senior discount on gas to get them to the next town a little easier.
Hey, man, uh, all the respect in the world to still do that at that age, and if you're gonna do it even at that at that subculture level of still probably being in the van, like hell yeah, do it up. I don't want to do that at that age. I want to I want to be chilling on a beach drinking a fucking Mai Tai or whatever. I'll play Jimmy Buffett covers at the fucking local
Oh no.
Margaritaville.
No, no.
What in my
Can
60s?
we,
You bet your ass
can,
I'm fucking retiring. I'm gonna be in a Jimmy Buffett cover band for sure.
dude, if we can get some stoner Jimmy Buffett riffs
Yeah.
going, probably get my uncle to book us out, man. Could probably
I
get us
mean,
set the hell up, bro.
let's be honest. Jimmy Buffett is just you know, parrot heads are basically the same as stoner doom folk, right? They're just
If you think about it, that
yeah,
guy is probably pretty stoned. You
all
know,
all the time.
I
I
don't
would
know if
think
he's weed stoned. He's like, boy, these are some good margaritas, and I'm lazy on the beach. I wouldn't say he's expanding his consciousness very much, which is fine. You don't need to do that 24/7. But I'm wondering when, I don't know. I never had a Parrot Heads album. Is there a point in the album where all of a sudden he starts asking the big questions? Or is that what like looking for my lost seasick or assault is supposed to be? You know, that's where he got philosophical with it, right?
that
I don't
is
think, I wonder what his doom scrolls would be like. I don't know if he had,
it's
is there a Jimmy
called
Buffett doom scrolls where he's like,
I,
man,
I'm
look
sure
at
he
the
would say
times.
one of
I
them
need a
is, but
margarita.
it's
yeah,
five.
I don't know.
I think his doom scrolls was it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah. Yep. That's it.
I tried to go see Jimmy Buffett and I lasted till the second song and I was like, cool, I'm out of here. This is not my, I don't get it.
At least just say you could say you saw it.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Hey,
guess.
there's a lot
My
of
wife's
fish in
like
the
that.
sea. You know, he wasn't your fish.
No,
He
it
was
wasn't.
not my fish.
Well, I might rather see fish than Jimmy Buffett. I'm not sure.
Mm,
Oof.
I don't know,
Nah, not
man.
really.
No.
Torture set.
I will say I like to think Weed Demon is a is the we're you ever listen to
You've
um
definitely checked our three big influences:
Earthless?
Jimmy Buffett, Fish, and Gigi Allen.
Yeah, that's
That's
it.
the dichotomy right there for Wheat Demon.
Have you listened to Earthless? Like they're like a jam band of the stoner doom scene. You know, I'd like to think they're the Jimmy Buffett of stoner metal,
Hmm.
heavy psych.
So I know the band. I've not listened to him though.
Oh yeah, Earthless. They are if it's it's like, 25-minute song of just straight fucking noodling.
Hell yeah.
Great riffs. I appreciate it.
You should. I think, again, right? Like whatever you put out, I think there's going to be someone that appreciates it. And I don't know, I might absolutely fucking love it. So now I kind of got to go listen to Earthless. I think they just had something new come out, or it's getting ready to come out, right?
Maybe. Not
Maybe,
sure.
maybe not.
I'm not up on current events, so I don't even know.
S-
I'm not up. I'm not down. I'm not up on Earthless news like Jordan is.
He's not down with OPP.
I'm plugged in.
I mean, you know me.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Have you guys started writing for I'm sure you probably have started writing for the next Weed Demon thing.
Yeah. Last Tuesday. Uh we started finally laying not to give away too much, I guess, whatever. We're working on our most lengthy piece to date, single track, and we're gonna have that for sometime in the near future. We got something planned for our 10-year anniversary. You said 11. I'm gonna go with 10 because no one wants to celebrate an 11-year anniversary. So we're celebrating 10 years of Stone to Death this year.
Be different. Be different.
Right, yeah. We got something cooking.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
23-minute track.
Fuck, was that exactly what we were
Pretty
give or
much.
take.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. We were
Hell
doing the
yeah.
math like we played this riff for this long. We're gonna need this many riffs.
This
We're
one
gonna need
goes
a
for
lot of fucking riffs.
72 measures. And then you just go to this note.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Okay, sometimes it'd be like that. And I'd be like, boy, this shit's hard to play when you're stoned. It's a lot of counting.
You're like, just
This will be our dope smoker.
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I wasn't gonna like lay the cards out and place the bet, but
No,
Jordan says, no, we're ready.
we
Let's go.
know. It's okay. The veil's
everyone
off.
needs
We get
one.
it. Our band's called Weed Demon. It's okay. We're allowed to.
Yes,
It honestly
absolutely.
should be expected. I'm just saying at this point.
Lean into that shit, man.
So favorite time you guys have played live. Give me a good story.
Oh,
I just put you on the spot.
While
yeah.
Jordan's thinking, because I know we all agreed that just our record release show at Ace of Cups recently was a high point of, I don't think even just the band, but all of us, our time on stage individually, we were all like, yeah, that was that was a really cool moment to get to share just with our fans and with each other, and to get to stand on like one of the favorite stages in our city and be able to celebrate that with everyone. So that was a really cool moment. Um,
I think I think Nick and I can we were not in Weed Demon together at the same time and when this happened, but we were both there at Skatopia. So
okay.
like Nick's
Yeah.
I think this is this works, right? Because Nick wasn't drumming for Weed Demon yet, but he was still there with his other band at Skatopia. And if you don't know what Skatopia is, just to give you the quick synopsis, it's a like a 50-acre massive compound, anarcho
Oh,
compound owned by a
yeah.
former skate pro dude who essentially out in Meigs County, and it is a festival of just absolute sheer debauchery and chaos and extreme music and skating for a weekend. And we were there. I had never been before. I think Nick and Brian had both been, right? You guys had both been there before.
Pretty sure
Um,
Brian's been a number of times. I've been more times than I want to admit on
it,
camera.
it was, I mean, there's people drag race, like rally racing their cars around this like complex of just dirt roads. The people are burning their cars. It was on an episode of Evil of Bam. Like Slayer played there, and I think Guar.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it is an insane place
You
to
just
go as a band, as a young adult to fucking party in with no rules at all. Just fucking whatever goes, whatever happens, happens. There's no cops allowed. If you break your fucking neck, you can't have an ambulance, cannot come on the property. You have to be taken out and left on the fucking road essentially for you to get picked up. It is just pure fucking nonsense. We
But
played
when there's a literal full pipe that people are skating on, and our
while
bro
you're,
Phil, I know, got jacked up pretty bad on that thing at least one time.
yeah.
Um, I don't know if he's the one that needed to actually be carted out of the place because of it, but
It's
um,
just, and it's the same way. Like, there's no rules when there's no rules to the bands playing hardly. Like, it's just we basically just muscled our way on stage
you
at
have to
like
take the stage by storm,
it was like
literally.
midnight, and we're like, if we don't fucking play, if we don't load on stage right now, we're not going to play until 4 in the morning. So we basically just bum rushed the stage with our gear and like pushed another band out of the way and said like, sorry dudes, fuck you. If you don't like it, try and move our gear, see what happens. Like, but we're playing, and it's just chaos, man. There's fireworks going off. People are like fucking skating in the bowl. It's just, it's just
Not
anarchy.
to mention, I saw your drummer at the time that day um, jump into the creek and uh, totally cut his foot open. And I was
Right.
like, holy crap, how's he even going to play tonight? He killed it. He killed it. Totally great set. I remember seeing them and being like, damn, y'all, that's a pretty sick band. That's kind of legit band. Damn. I
Yeah.
wish I was here with that band. What
If
happened?
you look at our on YouTube, there's a video, our first music video for Lost in the Catacombs, and the footage from that video is filmed at Skatopia.
Right on.
Yeah.
Is
It's
that is
Got
that place still around?
yeah, yeah.
we think so.
I think it's gone through some, like I mean, as far as I know, Skatopia happened in 2024 as planned. So, I mean, yeah, I think it's still going on. It's just, it's hard to sustain something like that, right? I mean, um, to have that sort of a complex and to be able to continue to have it, up the upkeep and the care and maintenance and shit and all those ramps. There's so many ramps. There's someone's got to take care of it.
Well,
And
that
and
much chaos too. Like that's got to be,
yeah.
anything goes. Personally, that for me, that would only work for, so long, and then I'm like, fuck, like I need something with a little more structure,
Yeah, sure. I think that's probably my favorite show experience because it was so we played a lot of weird we played biker rallies, we've played basements and garages, we played I don't know,
We played at
record
Trap
store
House in Georgia.
trap we played yep, played that, played trap house, played record stores, we played um we're usually open to new experiences. Like we like to play weird shit, right? The weirder the better.
weird
So
music and weird places.
yeah. So
Yeah.
all my favorite stories are not necessarily the amount of people we played in front of, but the experience around,
Yeah,
like playing in a weird setting.
I like playing a
that's
good boat show. I like
Yeah, get
playing
us on your pontoon boat.
on
We
your
Demon will
pontoon
play
boat.
your pontoon party this
We
summer.
don't even need generators. They got ego batteries now, right? They
That's
might
right.
even be waterproof. It might actually be safe to do it this time. Shit.
I think so.
he said this time. Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
How the fuck
Once
does that
upon a
work?
time.
Like that's a heavy shit to go out on a pontoon.
That's okay. We'll get our combo amps.
We'll just take the half stacks. We'll
Yeah.
reduce it just that. We'll do the Dick's Den setup, just a simple setup like we did.
We'll
So have
cover
you guys
mo
played a boat before?
I did once with some guys, and it was crazy, and I couldn't believe that they actually went for it, but they just strapped a generator to the back of the pontoon, like where the outboard motor was, and then we had 2 amps and well, our PA was we had a mic stand with a bullhorn just duct taped to it, which totally serviceable.
That works.
Um, but went out and rocked, bass guitar and a drum kit, and like 10 people on the boat passing a joint around. Um, Guilty party shall remain nameless. But I do remember we were on the fire band when they were like, no, there's for real a live music happening on the water out here. Somebody handed us a bag of jello shots, and that's when they finally came over and told us we had to stop. So, you know,
Boo.
we
It's
didn't
the
mind it because
alcohol.
live music.
They're like, no drinking on the water. You guys can't play music either. Like, get
No,
the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
no
more or
rocking on the
less.
lake, man.
No
They
rocking in
were
the
just like
free
whirled
world.
up like Monty Python, like too much silliness, too much, too much.
You're like, but it's just the life of Brian, dude. What's up?
Right?
Had
Brian
some
should have
good
been there. He'd
shit.
had all, but
So if you all are able to stay for the whole weekend at Legalize 25, is there a band over the course of the weekend that you'd really want to see?
Uh, so it's hard, man. I've seen most of the bands already, which is not a bad thing. That's great. Like there are a lot of we have so many friends, like right? Like
Yeah,
I
I definitely want to see Stormtoker.
always want to see She. They're
Definitely.
one of my personal favorite bands. I selfishly booked them for our album release show earlier this month, or I guess back in February, and I will always get a kick out of playing with them. But as far as bands I haven't seen, I would probably say Hashtronaut for sure, right? I mean, they're one of the only bands I haven't seen. So I am very much looking forward to checking those dudes out.
yeah, they'll fucking jam. Love those dudes. What about you, Nick?
We were talking about Stormtoker. I know Stormtoker gonna be there. Um, like he said, she's always absolutely killer. I don't know. I want to see all the sides. I'm looking forward to the band I haven't heard of yet that I'm gonna see. It's gonna blow my mind. But
Hmm.
I know it's gonna be a stacked weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for me, over the last year, Pond Digger was that band for me. Someone was like, "Oh, dude, Pond Digger's playing this show," and I think it was with Fairy Ring, Blessed Black, and Crop at
All
Owls.
all friends, yeah, all good friends of
Yeah,
ours for sure. That's awesome.
and they fucking dude, they set the night off. Like those dudes absolutely ripped. I'm really looking forward to seeing them again.
Yeah, same. Um, I think they're probably I think I can't remember if they're playing our night or not. I know we're playing with Temple of Fuzz Witch and Hashtronaut and or no.
Yep.
Yeah,
Swamp Hawk
and
and
She.
She and
That's it,
Pond
yeah.
Digger.
And Blind Scryer? No, maybe not.
Nope.
Nope.
Pond
You
Digger.
probably you probably have the set list in front of you.
Well, um I've got Friday night because
Oh,
that's the night you guys are playing.
yep,
Blind Scryer, again, another band that absolutely rips.
yep, for sure, man.
You
Yeah.
know,
It's
they're Saturday.
it's nice having this sort of Ohio Kentucky connection, right? Like there are Ohio has had a good amount of met bands in that, stoner family genre. But Kentucky is has a pretty uneven balance. Like you guys got a lot. Your cup runneth over. Your
It's
bong
because
spilleth over
the
with
Your
bong spilleth
bongs,
over.
yeah,
may your bongs spilleth over onto your Ouija boards,
that's right.
Kentucky. Keep the demons coming.
Yeah. So we always find our way back to Lexington and Louisville. I don't know that we've played anywhere else in Kentucky, honestly. That might be it. We always
Yeah,
play we always play Louisville or Lexington.
I feel like
Went to
that's, you
Holland.
know, but Covington would be the
Uh
only other place.
yeah, I mean yeah, but I don't know it's always Cincinnati. I don't know we played across the river.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't think
That's
so.
true. Hey, I mean, shout out to Urban Artifact. Love playing at that place. But also Southgate House. What up with you? Come on, Southgate. Let's get something. Let's play something.
I
I don't
know.
know. We don't do a lot of stoner metal out of
Haven't
Southgate
been
House.
Cincinnati's been pretty quiet recently, I feel like.
I think because most of the bands leave and go everywhere else.
I guess.
So do you guys know Valley of the Sun out of
Yeah,
Cincinnati?
yeah.
I think those dudes rip, but they don't play at home. Everything they do, most of what they do is over in Europe.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's like if you can go for it. But um, I don't know. It would be weird for me to be in a band and not be playing like my home turf. Of course, it's interesting. It brings to mind a band, not a stoner metal band. And again, guilty parties shall remain nameless, but there's a band that was totally located in Columbus, Ohio, but branded themselves as being like active in LA. Um, and so they would be playing shows in Columbus. They'd be playing shows all over the place. I don't think they were playing any LA shows. Um, but they were always kind of marching around town being like a big deal. And we're like, well, you certainly act like you're TV ready, but are you connected to reality is a big question.
I don't know.
But I
I
was,
think, like, especially looking at like, or looking back at the 80s and 90s, I think a lot of bands that that were from the States, they played so much in like other markets that they could come home and no one knew who the fuck they were, but they go to Europe and they're getting paid to play their music,
which is a hell of a trick, right? Especially if you could pull off that like um call that Tony Hawk effect where it's like, hey, I'm the most famous athlete of my generation. Nobody recognizes me anywhere I go.
yeah,
Like, man, what a cheat code.
that's the
Some
truth.
people would be like, I want to be famous so everybody bothers me. And he's like, it kind of annoys me how easy I got it on that front. But
Yeah, I think
blow
that
my
what was the story about him um going to the fucking airport with his passport and they're like, "Oh, Anthony, you
you're like
look
that Tony
like
guy.
that Tony Hawk guy." And he's like, "Yeah, I get that a lot."
Uh-huh.
He posts so many of those. And I saw one, he was apparently at a skate park. I don't know how recently, but the kid was like, hey, will you take a photo of me doing this jump? And he's like, yeah, sure thing, buddy. You're killing it. And he was like, hey, you kind of look like that guy from them Tony Hawk games. And he's like, yeah, I get that a lot.
I mean, that's
Just
the life, dude. Get
that's
the money
insanely
and
cool.
enough notoriety where people don't really know your face, but know kind of what you look like.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so like, yeah, it's weird that there would be it would be so interesting to be like, I'm gonna go have a whole career playing overseas or out of town or whatever, and then you just come home and nobody even knows about you doing that thing. Or like they all know that you're in a band, but nobody gets to see you anywhere in town.
I
I don't know.
think I think
Yeah,
it
go ahead.
says a lot about, and no, I know plenty of musicians and friends that say like last local show for 6 months or all year, and I'm like, hey man, no, like that's fine. Like I get that. Like, if you want to say like we're not playing our hometown anymore, we don't want to oversaturate it, and I get that. But you know what, man? Like if somebody hits me up and is like, hey dude, we have a sick show opportunity in Columbus, I'm not gonna be like, no, we just played Columbus in February. We won't play again until next year or like or till the fall because of some weird made up idea that you can't play your hometown too much. And I understand that, right? Like, we play anywhere that's within driving distance of, like 4 to 6 hours, right? Like it's fine. If it's a good show, we'll play it, we'll go, we'll do it. But I just think it's odd when bands make a point to say like, well, we're done playing our hometown. Like, why? That's where
Right.
all of your friends and fans and supporters are. It's okay to play your hometown. You
And
don't
it's
need to
okay to
make
play it more than 3 times a year too.
Yeah, it's okay, man. Because
It's like,
like at the end of the day, none of not all bands, but most bands are like you're not big enough and playing stoner doom metal that like if you play your hometown 2 months in a row, like you're gonna like we can't do that. We're gonna lose all our fans locally. They're not gonna come see us. Fine. Play the show.
Well,
some guys treat playing your hometown like wearing your own band's shirt on stage, like it's verboten or something. Like it's not classy, it's not cool. Personally, it's like, hey, if I had my way, we'd play 5 nights a week and I'd wear a Weed Demon shirt 24/7. You
Play
put
I
the
mean,
some
you
kind of
can.
boundary on it, I guess. But
just
it's like I wouldn't
play the
just act
show.
like it's too cool.
Play the show, have fun. Who cares? Wear your own band's hat on a podcast while you're on camera. Who gives a shit?
I
Yep.
saw that earlier. I was like, all right, Jordan, you got it.
Zoom in, white
Whatever, man.
balance.
I don't
Focus.
care. I paid for this shit. I bought it. It's my merch. I fucking wear it. I don't care.
Yeah, fuck, wear
Gives
it,
you
dude.
shit.
I like the old, you can't wear that band shirt to go see them. Like, fuck that. If I'm
Yeah.
going to see the band, I'll wear the fucking shirt.
Yep.
I'm a
Yeah.
fan. I want everyone to know I'm a
Right.
fan of that fucking band. I love those dudes, you
Yeah.
know?
Be proud. Wear it. Who cares? Who gives a shit?
I
Yeah.
came to this show to make sure everyone knows I prefer Poison Idea instead of Danzig. But but no, no, I get, I'm totally like, oh, you like Danzig too? Fuck yeah. That's why I'm at the show. Fuck yeah.
That's, the t-shirts and the are the conversation starters. You know,
Hmm.
my wife, when we started dating, we'd go to shows and she was always afraid, from trauma or whatever, that I would go and like pick up chicks. Well, I don't go to a show to pick up chicks. There's like two women there and they're probably with someone. Like I'm there to watch the band. And so the first couple of shows, she's like, after the second one, I think we left and she looks at me and she goes, "You don't pick up women at shows." I'm like, "No." Like, she's like, "You pick up dudes." I'm like, "Yeah, I leave with a new best friend. Like, that's the way to fucking go."
That's a good
Like,
point. That is very true.
It's a
you know?
social scene. It's
Yeah.
not like the 80s coming off of like 70s free love vibe, you know, anymore. People tend to be coming with their significant other. Otherwise, they're like, hey, here's an interesting concept. I want to go check some music out. I want to actually go and check the thing out for the thing itself.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm actually
I
going
kind
to
of
a
like
show to
that. I
see a
kind of,
fucking show. Like,
yeah,
oh my God.
right. It's like sometimes I think back, like I kind of miss when shows were a hectic thing. There was a big social scene, all sorts of crazy going on. But it's like, I remember back then being like, none of these people give a shit. None of these people care about the music. Come on. Nowadays, at least, I'm like, everyone here really cares about the music, and that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That is a beautiful thing. Everyone really cares about the fucking music. That's what you guys are going to be um, experiencing at Legalized Lex.
Yeah.
Hell
It was
yeah.
packed last year. I'm hopeful it'll be even better this year, especially 2 nights this year. Fuck yeah. Um, Remember, for all of you out there, Legalize Lex, April 18th and 19th at Al's Bar in Lexington.
Boom.
Weed Demon plays Friday night with Temple of the Fuzz Witch, Hashtronaut, Swamp Hawk,
Boom.
She,
Bam.
and Pond Digger.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Jordan, Nick, thank you for coming to hang out and chat with me tonight.
Sure, man. Glad to be here, man. Thanks a lot. We really appreciate letting us
Hell
come
yeah,
and
Borther.
say dumb shit on your podcast and talk about our stupid music opinions, but hey man, it's what it's all about, right?
That's it. Everyone's got an opinion, and none of us give a shit about anyone else's opinion.
Well, I care about your opinion.
I care that you have one.
That's right.
There you go.
I'm
I
curious
care
how
how
much
much
Um,
it stinks.
yes. Tickets are, let's see, Friday night's $20 at the door. Saturday is $40 at the door, or you can pre-order both for $50, but you have to purchase for the pre-sale.
boom.
Sweet.
Bam.
Do it.
Ah,
Get there.
oh. All right, guys.
Bring your
Whew,
bomb.
again, thank you. You guys have a great night.
Yeah, man.
We
Cheers.
demon.
Oh yeah.
Peace
See ya.
out.
See ya.